saltiness isn't bliss here. Tonight's recipe is beef with noodles. So I have taken a bit of a shortcut here and my ground beef is already browned. If yours is not browned yet, we are looking to use 1 pound of ground beef that you will either brown up, or if you already have it browned, you will put that in your pan. Turn the pan onto medium, or the stovetop onto medium, and add in 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You can brown your ground beef in the olive oil if it is raw. And once it is brown, we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of minced onion, dried onion. We're going to stir that all together and we're going to let that cook on the heat for about 1 minute before we add in our other ingredients. Okay. All right, so our beef and seasoning has had a minute or two here to simmer and blend. So now we're going to add in our next few ingredients. We want 2 cups of either reduced sodium chicken broth or beef broth. In this case, I had chicken broth I wanted to use up, so I am going to pour that in there. Next up is 8 ounces or 1 cup of noodles. The beauty with this recipe, you can use any noodles you love, any noodles you have in the cabinet at home. So whatever noodles you feel like using, go for it. There's no specific noodle you need to use. So in this case, I'm going with a tricolor rotini. I'm going to give that a little stir. And the last ingredient for now is 2 cans or 16 ounces of tomato sauce. So I will warn you ahead of time, guys, unfortunately, this is where all the salt is hiding. Okay, so we have just poured our 2 cans of tomato sauce in. Now we want to give that a real good stir. We still have our burner on medium. Once this is all blended together, we will put the lid on and simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes or until our noodles are tender. So different noodles do take longer to cook, as I'm sure you guys know. Okay guys, so we're coming along nice. I did have to cook this for a little bit longer than I said, so I probably went a little bit closer to 15 to 18 minutes instead of the 8 to 10. So you'll just have to keep an eye on it. You do want to give it a stir occasionally while it's cooking. I've got my burner down to low now, so if you start to get a real wild boil going, feel free to turn your burner down as low as you need. We do want to obviously make sure our noodles are tender and done. We also want to see this tomato sauce kind of thicken up a bit. So right where we're at right now is pretty good because that's thickened up probably about halfway from where we started. So now we're going to add in our last 2 ingredients. So we've got a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. If you don't have that in the house, you can always substitute 1/2 and 1/2. And we've got 8 ounces or 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Again, if you have mozzarella or some other kind of cheese, you can substitute that as well. So let's pour our heavy whipping cream in. Make sure to get all that out of there. And then our cheddar cheese. 1 little piece hanging out in the cup there. And I like to do this on the heat, on the burner, and I've got it on low because I feel like that little bit of heat just helps to melt and blend all the ingredients together. So you kind of just want to make small circles with your spoon or whatever you're using to stir it with until you notice that it is all blended in there. And we want to let that cheese sit on the heat for just a minute or 2 just to make sure it melts all the way as well. So you will know that you're all blended through once it completely changes color like it has here. And it kind of has that thicker look to it as well. So I am going to cover this again and simmer for about 1 to 2 minutes, and I will see you then. Here we go, guys. Beef with noodles, all piping hot, ready to go. I've opted to put some in a bowl rather than just on the plate. That seems like a better way to contain all of the sauce. And I have paired it with a slice of garlic bread, that I am going to really enjoy dipping in there and getting all that sauce on. Did you get a whiff? Can you smell it? Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.